What it do, T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9, Episode 16 review. Next week is the season finale episode. Well, this Sunday is the season finale episode. So we should be expecting the reunion looks this week. So I'm super excited about that. You know, I'll be doing my Fashion Killer video on it. Also, any other news? No, let's get into this week's recap because this was a good episode and I got a lot to say. So buckle up, buttercups. So we pick up where we left off last week with Karen confronting Mia about knowing about the paternity test and knowing that Jeremiah is G's child, and she hadn't mentioned it, hadn't told them anything. And Mia says Gordon might have knew, but I found out a week ago. Mia, you are full of crap. You got exposed. You were not expecting that at all. And now you trying to backtrack. And so Stacy is sticking up for Mia and feels like Karen is attacking her and like it's a gang up. And I'm looking like, look at her, Bambi. Please get somewhere and sit down because you just met this girl 2 months ago. You don't know her from a can of peas, girl. You don't even know how much of a liar and a manipulator that Mia is. So sit down. Please, Stacy, please. You're dumb, okay? You're dumb and you're gullible and you let people walk all over you and use you. So I think you need to sit this one out. So Wendy was like, Stacy, what side are you on? Because I'm confused. Because even Wendy was getting sick and tired of Stacy caping for Mia. Like, girl, please have several. So everything settles down. Ashley let Boo Thang come to support her. Her mama and Uncle Lump and them are there, which was kind of a little bit weird considering what she was about to do. But they fully support her and her decisions. So the drag performers perform and Ashley comes out, child, looking like Rico Suave. Rico. Bade daritara. Suave. She looked like a skinny Mario Lopez child. And she came out there and did her thug thizzle and she pulled Karen up on stage and Jazelle talking about she attractive and she turning her on and she get up there. And at that point when she was dancing on Karen, she was actually performing to Pony by Genuine. And she gives Karen a lap dance and pops her blazer and exposes her boobs with tassels on them, child, and she gyrating and grinding all on the ground and dancing all fast because you know that white side of her be coming out. So she got rhythm, but she just moved real fast and she was doing a lot of that was like, slow down, sucker. But she did a really good job. It was very entertaining. I will let you guys know, however, that Dean reached out to me last night and said that he is, in fact, filing for emancipation. Yeah. He wants to be emancipated from Ashley and Michael. He is sick and tired of their shenanigans. He has had enough. He has tried diligently to support his mother, to represent her in court, and she just continues to embarrass their family name, everything that Dean has worked so hard for, you know, and he just can't take it anymore. He says that if he can become the guardian of the president, that he will in fact do that. But if he can't, you know, the president might just have to stick at it alone because he just cannot take it anymore. I feel so bad for him. He thought about going to his grandmother's house, but she over there living in a tent. You know, Uncle Lump is a little bit too strict for Dean. I told him he can come stay here, you know, but he said he didn't want to be a bother. You know, he didn't want to, you know, ruin our friendship and outstay his welcome because he didn't know how long he would have to stay here. He says he's going to stay in a hotel for now. But yeah, he's doing it, you guys. He's really doing it. And I just wish Dean the best, on this new journey of his. It's going to be hard, being out here in these hard, mean streets, raising yourself. But at this point, I think him raising himself is better than being in such a raunchy environment like Ashley has him in, and his father. Both are highly schmexual people, and it's just too much for a child of that age to have to deal with these shenanigans, So we wish you well, Dean. We wish you well, and I know that any judge with common sense is going to grant you your wish. So, yeah. After her performance, they clue her in on what happened between Karen and Mia, and Ashley is shocked. Like, oh my God, this whole time she been lying to us. So G wasn't manic, he wasn't crazy. Like, she is stunned. So then we have Jizzy, Karen, Ashley, and Keiarna. They meet up for lunch. I loved Ashley's sundress. I am going to be such a sundress girl this summer. Mark my words. And they sit down, they're having lunch, and Keiarna tells them how she and Greg had a really bad argument over them adjusting to living with one another and the fact that he doesn't like her being on the show. And it's basically, it's like, it's either his way or the highway, pretty much. And she's once again crying. And Jazelle was like, if I was your mother, I would be telling you to not let no man dim your light. Like, what's going on? Like, this ain't that. And Keiarna points out how she's always 10 toes down for him and supporting everything he got going on, but he can't do the same for her. And I was like, that's what I've been saying this whole season. And the fact that you can acknowledge this yourself says everything that you need to know, my love. No, you over there working for this man. You basically got 2 jobs. You got your own business you running, then you over there ripping and running and knocking on doors and doing all of this for him, but he can't film a few scenes with you. Y'all could have compromised. You know what I'm saying? Like, really? But I got more to say on that when we get to their next scene. But yeah, Keiarna, you gotta get it together. You really honestly do, because if everybody around you is telling you the same thing, then girl, it's time for you to skedaddle. So Mia picks up Ink from the airport. Them niggas is dressed alike. I'm like, what is going on with this sage green? It just pissed me off. And they in the car, and Ink mentions that G texts him about the paternity test. And here go Mia. She nervous as I don't know what, because she looking like, oh my God, he know. Okay, let me get my lie together. And so Ink was like, yeah, he told me what the results were, and that he told you a few weeks ago, and that he'd hoped that you'd told me. And Ink says that he don't believe that G actually had the test done. And Mia was like, well, he emailed me the results, and it said 99% that it was his son. And Ink says for the past year, you all have been operating without boundaries, and basically was saying, like, you need to implement something, because he getting tired of this skewed line that they keep crossing with one another. But I'm like, sir, did nobody tell you to get involved with a married woman? So, of course, the lines are going to be blurred when it comes to boundaries, because this is new for them. They're still married. They live in the same building. They have 2 small children with one another. Hello? Are you dumb? Like, I'm so confused by what you really are expecting from this. Like, y'all all just need to be a throuple at this point. Add Jacqueline or make it a quadruple or whatever it is. A quintuplet. I don't know. Like, what? But what really got me was the fact that we gonna negate the fact that this big body being sitting next to you didn't tell you about the paternity test, and she's supposedly has known for weeks and did not say nothing, we just gonna dismiss that part. I'm like, did the producers cut that part out? Because I'm like, I know you just didn't bypass that. The cootie cat can't be that good that we just gonna act like that didn't happen. Really? You little Tonka truck? That's what we doing? Girl, 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 I hate everybody. I really honestly hate everybody because Mia is once again proven to be a liar, and she once again gets off. I'm so confused. I need for her to teach me her ways, okay? So Stacy and Ashley meet at this dog shelter because she's throwing this charity event to help displaced dogs find homes. And they talk about their divorces, and she tells Ashley that she waived her child support. And Ashley was like, "You did what?" And Ashley pointed out in her confessional, like, girl, you're unemployed right now. She's technically not unemployed because, she's filming for Bravo. But still, like, that's the only source of income that you have coming in is this show. God forbid, say, for instance, you don't get picked up for another season. Then what? You going to go back to HSN, QVC, wherever you just came from? Hopefully you can find another hosting gig. Like, what's the tea, ma'am? Because she told me I know my marriage. I know my husband, my ex-husband. I know what's going to work for me. I hope it do work for you. I hope that you prove the world and everybody wrong. But I really feel like you are shortchanging yourself. You're trying to be too accommodating to this man. You're not trying to shake the table. I don't understand why. Yeah, you're going to get alimony, but still. Even with him taking care of his daughter, I would, even if you don't want the money for, to spend on her monthly or whatever, put the money up in a savings account for her for when she turns 21 or something. She can get all that money. Like, girl, you are tripping. But this goes back to her being a people pleaser and being so gullible and naive and thinking that the world is filled with rainbows and seashells and sunshine. This is not a Disney movie, Stacy. Because you're over there sleeping with Jafar. You should have brought TJ to the drag show. He would have had a good time when the drag queens was out there, okay? If Ashley telling you, girl, you might need to rethink this, you might need to rethink it. But she's so smart, she know everything. Dingbat. So, I'm gonna save the Keiarna and Greg scene for the end of this review. Wendy is going to interview Press Secretary Karine at the White House, which is so huge for her. She's working, at that point in time, she was working on season 2 of the Wendy Show or whatever she called it. But that was such a huge catch. Congratulations to Wendy. I've never watched her little talk show or whatever. Does it come on YouTube? Have anybody ever watched it? Is it good? Y'all let me know. But she tells her husband that she wants to share the moment with Karen because, Karen shared her moment when she got the key to the city of Surrey or whatever it was. So she really wants to share this moment with Karen, which is very dope and very cool, but doesn't seem like it's gonna go that way. Stacy links up with Mia. No. Wrong thing. Stacy invites the ladies to Vivian's boutique. Now, we met Vivian the beginning of this episode. Now, I don't think we've really seen her since. But she is Stacy's friend and Karen's friend. And she invites the ladies to her store so they can pick out dresses for the puppy charity event. And Karen, unfortunately, did not come, though, because she's upset with Stacy for how she reacted at Ashley's drag show. Because she felt like she was over there supporting Mia and condemning Karen. You know what I'm saying? Which, if I was Karen, my feelings would have been hurt because you know me, you know what I'm saying? And you know what we're here to do. Let's not act like you don't understand the dynamics of this show. And let's not act like you don't know at this point that Mia be lying. So, like, huh? So, I didn't blame Karen for not coming. So, Wendy asked Stacy, does she support Karen like Karen supports her? Because at this point, even Wendy is feeling like Stacy is being biased and kind of being fake and not really having Karen's back as her friend. And Stacy was like, I know that's not what this is about. And yeah, that is what it's about, you know, but Stacy is being indignant about the situation. She is digging her heels into the sand, feeling like she has not done anything wrong and that Karen is basically overreacting and doing the most, right? So, Wendy says to her, Mia said some very disparaging things about Karen. You should have told Mia, don't say that about my friend. And I agree. I 1000% agree with Wendy on that. Even if you're upset with Karen right now, if you think she in the wrong or whatever, you still should have had her back and then pulled her to the side later, or y'all had a one-on-one conversation, because you ain't had nothing to say about what Mia was saying about her, but you had everything to say about Karen exposing her untruths, if that's what you want to call it. So Jazelle arrives and she announces that she was with Karen the day Stacy sent them the text inviting them to come to the boutique to try on dresses, and that Karen was clueless as to why they would be going to Vivian's boutique. And she tells Stacy that she should have reached out to Karen beforehand to give her a heads up, because Vivian was introduced to them via Karen. Now, I didn't agree with this at all, because it was already explained to us, episode 1, that Stacy and Vivian had their own relationship. I don't think that she had to run anything past Karen about the girls coming to this store. Like, what? No, absolutely not. Nah, we not doing that one. Not doing that one at all. But Jazelle stands firm that she should have reached out or whatever. Wendy didn't agree with that either. Ashley said that she could see where Karen and Jazelle were coming from, but I didn't agree with that one at all. That girl ain't got to call and give her a heads up or none of that. Like, no, absolutely not. But Jazelle says that, you didn't even ask us to be a part of the show. A part of this charity event. The way Jazelle was putting it, like, she just told them they was going to be in it. Which is crazy if that is the way it came across. And Stacy didn't really refute that either, which makes me seem like it was I'm having this, y'all gonna be in it, and that was that type of energy. And no, that ain't how this go. But Jazelle says that she didn't even think that Stacy believed in charity because she didn't donate to the 2 events that she's had this year. And Stacy was like, because you put me out. Like, what? Like, no, I'm not going to donate to your charity. So Jazelle says she not going to be in the show because Stacy never even asked if she like animals, if she like dogs, if she's ever had a traumatic experience. So she didn't lie to them folks and told this girl that she got bit by a dog, but she was lying her ass off. Now, if y'all know me, y'all know I don't like animals. I do not like dogs. I'm afraid of dogs. And yeah, it would have been a no for me as well. I'm not even coming to the event, period. No. And if I do come, I need to be in my own section, far away from the dogs. And then to see what's going to happen at this event, this is why I don't fool with them. This is exactly why I don't fool with them. But you can tell Stacy was very put off by Jazelle and the way Jazelle was coming for her. But it was actually pretty nice to see Jazelle sticking up for Karen, because we don't really see that. And it was really nice. It was a really nice moment. Gotta give Jazelle her props this season. She had a couple of little moments where I was like, but for the most part, She had a really good season for Jazelle. Will I ever go up for Jazelle? Will I ever forget all of the things that she has said and done? Absolutely not, because that's still in her. Very much still in her. And I will never forget. Never, ever, ever forget. And that's why I will never be a fan of hers. But she had a really good season, and I liked her and Karen as a duo this season. But Stacy, even though you could tell her feelings was hurt, she didn't back down from Jazelle, which was really good. She stuck up for herself for the most part. But let's get into Keiarna and Greg. So they head out on a little day date. And while they're in the car heading to the restaurant, she tries to bring up the argument that they had. And he obviously does not want to talk about this. He is on mute. He's trying to ignore her. When he does respond, he got an attitude. He rolling his eyes. He's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he was just irked and annoyed by her. And she was like, okay, you don't want to talk, but you'd have to admit that we did have a really bad argument. And, she's trying to coax him into the scene and to discuss what's going on in their relationship, but he flat out refuses. And I felt bad for her because he's not even throwing her the ball. You know what I'm saying? It was a way to have that conversation without airing out y'all dirty laundry, but he just flat out refused to talk about it at all. But I don't know. It seemed like something had to been said before they walked in that restaurant. I'm really figuring that when they got to the restaurant and pulled into the parking lot, the producers asked to speak to him and just told him, hey, we just need a little bit from you. Can you at least give us that and then we'll be done? And I think that he probably said, yeah, because by the time they got into the restaurant, his attitude had changed and he was the one talking about their relationship. So he says to her, you should just go with the flow sometimes. Just calm the fuck down. You could tell she didn't like him speaking to her that way, but that she bit her tongue for the cameras maybe. Or maybe she just bite her tongue with him, period. But you could tell she wanted to say something, but she held it back. And I'm looking like, girl, ooh, Keiarna. So instead, she comes to him with this heartfelt confession saying, I feel like sometimes I shrink when I'm with you instead of being my full self. And this grimace looking motherfucker gonna say, I mean, that's how you feel. Fully ignoring her sentiments, her confession to him, basically was like, woe is me, that's a you problem. I don't know why you bringing it to me. And this girl is just trying so hard to get him to acknowledge the way she's feeling and how hurt she is. Like she's literally drowning and begging him to come and save her. And he could care less. He is the most selfish nigga ever. I've been with niggas like him. He is selfish AF. Selfish. It's all about him, what he wants, how he feels. She's literally just supposed to shut up and be pretty and do what he want her to do, cook his dinner, suck his dick, fuck him, and go to bed and do it all over again. That's exactly what type of woman he wants. So then Keiarna says, I want to be seen by you. I want to always feel safe with you, where I feel like you see the value in me and you see the value in us being together. It's a comfort of mine that I specifically need from you. And it's a thing that I don't feel that you've made me feel. She's crying at this point. But let's dissect what she said to him. When she said, I want to be seen by you, I've been in that place in a relationship. She over there feeling like she's in a relationship by herself, and you are. Because he does not validate you. Not in the least. Then when she says, where I feel like you see the value in me and you see the value in us being together. You got to see the value in yourself to know when enough is enough. And that if a motherfucker don't already see that in you from day one, then you need to exit stage left. Because you should never be sitting up here begging a man to see the value in you. Nigga, if he don't see that by day one, then what are we doing? Look, you are a beautiful woman. You're articulate, great body, driven, goal-orientated, a go-getter, got your own business, landed a gig on reality television, like no kids. And you asking this man to see the value in you and in y'all being together. If he don't already cherish you in that relationship, he ain't. So how are you sitting over here buying a house with this man, moving in with him and his kids and playing house? Being a stepmama that you ain't even a stepmama yet. Talking about our kids. Them ain't your kids. You done already gave this man everything that he has wanted. And you sitting over there, not even getting the short end of the stick. You ain't getting none of the stick. Ladies, take heed. Take heed. If a nigga don't put you on a goddamn pedestal and make you feel like you the queen of the motherfucking earth, leave that nigga the fuck alone. And vice versa. She starts crying. He gets on, oh, you're crying. Didn't comfort her, didn't hug her, didn't reassure her, sat there, and she had to ask him for a napkin. And then he just sat there looking at her uncomfortably. Like, I can't believe you're doing this right now and in public. She said sometimes you can be a little dismissive. And she says, I don't think you understand how deeply it impacts me. This girl is literally crying out to this man to get him to see how hurt she is. Like, she is trying to hold on to this man, but she is on her last leg, and he's oblivious. He don't get it. He don't care to get it. This man says, I disagree. I haven't dismissed your feelings. I never dismiss your feelings. You just did, you idiot. You literally just did. And I don't understand how she didn't say that to him. I would have blew up. I would have been like, you just did. Case in point, you just did. Check, please. Now, check, please. I'm getting my purse and I'm getting the fuck out of here. Because you literally just did everything I told you that I need for you not to do to me. Keiarna, if you don't leave this nigga alone, first of all, you can't date no nigga that wear thong sandals. Absolutely not. When they panned underneath that damn table to that man's feet, even the cameraman was looking like, girl, he ain't even cute, Keiarna. He ain't even remotely attractive and sitting up here playing you in your face like you some ugly ass bitch off the street. Girl, you better respect yourself and leave that ugly ass man alone. He is ugly as shit. His ways are ugly as shit. And I'm not saying he's a horrible, bad person, but when it comes to this relationship, he values himself more than he values you. He puts you down here and himself up here. And like I said, anytime you gotta beg a nigga, girl, it's time for you to go. And it's time for you to work on you. Because never, ever, ever should you be begging anybody to see me, love me, value me. No. I hope she really saw herself. And I hope and pray at this reunion she say she done left that man alone. Because if she haven't, I'm going to be pissed. Girl, don't, what make it even worse is that you let the ugly nigga pay in your face. He literally looks like Grimace. You want to lay down and have ugly babies with this girl? It's a reason why he divorced. I don't know if he was married to the baby mama or not, but it's a reason. Child, no. And he ain't even supporting you. And what you over here trying to do? You talked more about him and their relationship this season than you did your own business. That should have been the forefront of your storyline this season. Making sure you plug that business. Girl, up here wearing some thong sandals. Bye, ma'am. No. Bye. I would. A man come to my door and knock on it. He got on some thong sandals. If you don't get out of my face. My daddy don't even wear thongs. Girl, no. Like, he need to be doing cartwheels in the street naked, happy that he got a bitch like you on his arm. Because how did he pull you is what I want to know. What was the 3 magic words that he said that made you be like, oh, Greg? His name is Greg. Greg, who wears thong sandals and looks like Grimace. Goodbye. I'm going to give this week's episode of Potomac an A. It was a really good episode. Can't wait for next week's season finale. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.